Hi, I'm Tammy Fontana with All in the Family Counseling Center. I'm addressing a often unrecognized reason why some people have a very difficult time being vulnerable and expressing intimacy or closeness with another person. And that culprit is anxiety. Anxiety is this very insidious state that often hijacks people from being able to express themselves. Now, you may say anxiety, because many people often conceptualize anxiety as neuroticism, as they think of somebody who's running around, being very anxious and fast and moving. But what anxiety is, and a lot of people who struggle with intimacy suffer from, is this inability to manage negative feelings that arise when one reveals themselves. So what do I mean? Is in order for me to share with another person who I have deemed important to me, it could be a loved one, a lover, a partner, a friend, if I have to reveal something that I perceive makes me very vulnerable, it could be about an emotional state, about how something makes me feel, revealing a side of myself, anything that I perceive that for me is vulnerable, that I'm upset with you, or I'm upset. Any of these things that maybe to the average person doesn't seem very vulnerable, to the anxious person who struggles with vulnerability, this produces anxiety. How? Well, one, the minute I share with you something about myself, that I reveal something about myself, something that I reveal that makes me feel vulnerable, open to judgment, criticism, rejection, produces anxiety. It's the moment of when it leaves my mouth, and from the moment it leaves my mouth until it hits your ears and you process it, I am sitting in a state of anxiety. I don't know what you're going to do with this. I don't know if you're going to judge me, reject me, get angry with me, shame me, attack me. This is how the anxious mind works. And it's very integrated. They're not even necessarily aware of it. And because they can't tolerate that, what do? They often don't say anything. They will push it down and present a false version of themselves, not consciously, but that's where you'll sometimes get people saying, hey, are you upset? And they're like, no, I'm not. Or, hey, something seems off. Is there something wrong? No, there's nothing wrong. Or sometimes you can be around that person and they'll feel robotic or stiff or fake. It's because they're pushing down their feelings about what is really bothering them, because the minute they tell you, they lose control, and that's anxiety. They lose control of what you're going to do with that information about them, and that produces anxiety, that waiting to find out. Now, if the person can move beyond that stage, the second thing is then they're also afraid of the feeling of a negative response: rejection, anger, shame, judgment, criticism, anything. It never occurs to their brain that, it could facilitate something positive like closeness, understanding, connection. That's outside of this anxious person's brain. So the anxious person is anxious because they have no capacity or tolerance to feel any more bad feelings. Anxious people are running around kind of like up to here, managing their anxiety and bad feelings, so they often have no capacity to handle more bad feelings. So this often comes at the expense of them being vulnerable, revealing things to themselves. So if this sounds like somebody that you love, therapy is something that I help people learn how to deal with. It's not a quick fix, it's a process. Or if this sounds like you and you want to get over this because you're sick of people telling you, you're like a robot, you're hard to connect to, you're hard to read with, you're weird, or maybe you've had too many romantic partners break up with you because they're not able to get close to you and they feel disconnected from you or rejected, or you're cold. These are things that I help people with. You can contact me to learn more and see if, this is something you want to work on. Thanks.